Well, the Hispanic Latino community is really the fastest growing minority in the country, and in a few years it's going to be the majority. It's just amazing. In the states like California and Texas and Arizona and all these border areas, Hispanics are growing to be a significant part of the population. So how do politicians reach these people? What touches this very important part of our society? Well, there was a guy named Andy Vajdak. He went from an obscure cherry farmer in California to a state senator in a heavily Hispanic district. He won election against a Hispanic opponent. And this man, Andy, is a Republican. As David Brody reports, his story may carry some lessons for the National Republican Party. Watch this.
It looks like a typical swearing-in ceremony.
I, Andy Vajdak, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear.
But California State Senator Andy Vajdak will tell you that the ride to get here was anything but typical.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
Vajdak may look like a state senator when he takes the floor, but at heart, he's still a cherry farmer from the Central California Valley. He brings his lunch to work. He wears his cowboy hat during off hours and drives his faithful pickup truck, which has about 300,000 miles on it. Oh, and please don't call him Senator.
I'm just Andy.
Andy enjoyed life as a farmer and rancher, but as time went on, he watched environmental policies devastate California's economy. For example, farmers can only receive a small portion of water in order to protect fish.
We've got some radical environmentalism that has pushed it a little bit too far, well, actually a long way too far. And when we start putting insects and plants and animals ahead of human beings, I don't agree with those types of things.
So the question is, how did Andy Vajdak do it? How did an obscure cherry farmer south of Fresno, California, end up here at the state capitol in Sacramento? He did it with the help from Hispanics in his district. But what really caught the nation's attention is that he won against an Hispanic woman in a district that's 60% Hispanic and heavily favors Democrats.
I don't see colors. I mean, it was just about going and talking about common sense, values, common sense, because there is no party lines with common sense.
Nationally, the Republican Party is still trying to gain more of the Hispanic vote. As the Latino population increases its share of the electorate, their future votes are crucial to the GOP. So what can they learn from Vajdak's victory? Well, it helped that he speaks fluent Spanish, but also his working class roots, pro-family values, and community involvement really cemented the bond.
I cooked menudo for 9 hours in 98-degree heat. But I went to that not because they were Hispanic, but because there was 10,000 people there. And, we just have to go out and talk to folks. I don't ride a white horse. I'm not a silver bullet.
That underscores a larger point, authenticity. He didn't treat Hispanics as a political talking point, something that couldn't be said about his opponent. Opponent Leticia Perez received heavy criticism after attempting to attract churchgoers by using the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe in a campaign flyer. The lesson? Overtly political moves will not work with Latinos. And then there is immigration, a position where Vajdak showed compassion by embracing a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants.
I don't believe in breaking up families. Folks have broken the law to come here, but then there's a bunch of minors that came that, they had no choice in the matter. And, we have to look at that.
And so there you have it, a lesson for the GOP from Andy Vajdak. Compassion, authenticity, and time spent with Hispanics, plus a pro-family message. Vajdak also knows his victory included one more vital element, a faith in Jesus Christ.
I don't know how you could be a farmer and not have a lot of faith in God and know that He's in charge, and you need to work as hard as you can, and create all the opportunities you can. But at the same time, there's a higher power. Jesus Christ is my Savior, and through that, all things are possible. And here I am in Sacramento.
A simple farmer ready to do business.
I come to Sacramento armed with a smile, a handshake, and my common sense.
David Brody, CBN News in Sacramento, California.